This class we are going to discuss about data types. Like I showed here, uh, there are different types of data types in Python. So there are three groups. Like first one is sequence, and second one is uh, mapping, and the other last one is set. So we'll discuss the top two, like string and list, in this class, and later we'll discuss about the other things also. First, we'll start with the string. So basically, for example, if you take one variable like name, so sorry. So this one we already discussed, like this is a string literal, and this is the identifier, and we are assigning to using the assignment operator to this variable name. So this is of string type. How do we check this one? By using type of function. You can pass the variable name and check the type of this variable. So see, this is string type. So now in this one, so there are multiple operations we can do on this string type. So string is basically immutable. We cannot change once it is defined. This will define this Ravi. We cannot change this. So we cannot update this Ravi with some other values, like in between or somewhere in the middle. The only thing we can do is we can reassign that variable name. Like we can reassign this, but we cannot change. You see here. Previously it was Ravi. Now it should be Pavan. We have updated the variable reference to other string literal, but we have not changed the previous one. This one still exists, or the reference was lost. We have not updated the old one. We have replaced it with the new one. The variable is now pointing to Pavan. So this is one thing. So the next one is like there is something called indexing. This is also a sequence. Like I said, the string comes under sequence. We can call it with the indexing numbers, like or will be the zero index at the zero index. This is a sequence of characters. So or is at the zero at the index, and this one is 1, 2, and 3. So we can call it with name the index number. So this has or see this one. Jim- Okay, so we can call this with the index number. Like the last one is so if we exceed the range of the index, what we are calling, like this is 0, this is 1, 2, 3. It doesn't have fourth index, so it has thrown an error, index error. You see the last character is I. So if you want to find the unknown string's length, we can simply use length method to find the length of the string. So that is 4, and the index starts with 0, 1, 2, and 3. So if you want the last character, there is other way also, like negative indexing also is there. Negative indexing starts with -1, -2, -3, and -4. If you call with negative index, it will return the last character. See, the last character I is returned. So -4 is the first character, or it should return or. See this one. This is like getting the characters using index. In strings or any sequence type, there is slicing also. Slicing is basically, it has two parameters like start index and the end index. The first one is start index and there is colon, and the next one is end index. So if you print this one, so it started with 0 and we said 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, and it excludes the last character, like it will take up to 2 only, index 2. So if you want the last character also, you have to mention 4. So like you can simply replace with length. Then you can print the complete thing. So here it will take the start index and the end index, like it was excluded. End index is not included. Like this, there is one more thing also. Step also is there. Slicing will take 3 parameters. All are optional. You can simply leave all the things, or you can give any one of these parameters. If you do this one, complete characters will be there. Like if you are not giving the start, end, and the step, all these things are considered as up to the end. It will start from the beginning and it will print up to the end. The step is by default 1 and this is 0. We'll start with 0 index and this one is the end, like up to the end of the string. Consider up to the end of the string. Plus 1. So by default will be assumed. If you are not giving, this will be the default values of this start, end, and step index. So if you want, you can specify start and end. And this step, as I said, step is by default 1. Like if you give 2, so it will print this one and it will leave the other character and it will print the V. Likewise, it will print R and V are there. So if I add 3, it will print R and I. So it will leave the 2 characters in between. So like that it will. This is slicing. So there are number of methods on string we can apply. So first one, if we take name.upper, This one basically converts all the letters into uppercase. It will take all the characters and it will convert uppercase. And similarly, lowercase will convert all the characters to lowercase. So all are converted to lower. And if there are any spaces in between these characters, like in the beginning and ending, there is one more method to strip all the spaces. We call strip method. It will remove all the space characters from the start and end of a string. So this one spaces are not there. To use simply without strip, you can see the spaces in the console. Cannot see, but there is a difference. So like that, there are some more methods. Replace. The replace will find the character and replace with the character whatever we need. The old one is like replace O with some J. Has replaced R with J. If you write some text like comma separated, so it will take character like this face, and it will return. It will split up to that character, and it will store into a list, and it will return. See, by using space, it has splitted. So if we remove space, add comma, and split. Using comma separator. This comma is a reference for splitting, and it will store all the variables, like all the names in separate index numbers in a list. Split is used for splitting. There is one more thing. Find. Find will take two arguments. One is for like first we'll for searching characters. So we'll find for Ravi and return the index of that member. Like that's at the beginning only, so it has written the index of that where it was found. If you say Ramu will return 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should return 5. The index it found was like this one, so it returned 5. There is one more thing, like you simply type R and find is 0. It was found initially only. If we want the second character, like if we want to skip the first one, like we can give the start and end index also. You say start index is 1, we'll find the next thing. Like we are skipping this one. We want the second one, it found at second index. The R is at the second index. And there is one more also, end index also we can give. So currently this is not useful, but if we want, we can give like in a separate range. Oh, these are the major methods which we can find in string operations. So we go for other thing, like there is string concatenation is there. So for example, balance is there. So if you want to print something called, we can concatenate. So we can do this one if all are strings. Imagine that currently there are all are strings. So we can simply concatenate by using plus operator. So this one is a string. Currently account number also is a string and balance also is a string. If all are strings, we can simply use the plus concatenation operator and we can print to the screen. See this one, and simply concatenate by using plus operator. So if there are of different types, like these two are numbers and this one is float and this one is integer. So we cannot directly concatenate other types. So for concatenating, you can typecast them in string. So now you can print this one. So this is one operation, like, so for that one, there is one thing called formatting is there in strings. So if you see some this kind of things, you can format using F strings. You can write like this. So we have used F for formatting and we are directly writing those variables inside this string. This is completely one string, but we are inserting two variables in between using clever brackets, and then we are using this F character to format those strings. So this also will print the same thing, but these are of different types. So we are printing that easily. And assume there is some name. You can add name also. Your account number balance is this one. You can print like this. So if you need any special things like quotes, double quotes, there is something called backslash. You can use backslash notation for printing quotes or double quotes. So if you need any new line somewhere, maybe here, you can use \n for writing that in new line. So you remove this one, you can clearly see this thing is there in your account number. The balance is in the new line. So like this, you can do multiple things using escape sequence. This kind of notation is called as escape sequence. So \forward and the letter like quote, double quote, new line. There is tab also. These kind of things you can use. See, there is a tab. Uh, these are the things you can do in string. So now if we go to list, so in list, for example, if you take fruits, so how do you define a list? Like you can start with opening a square bracket and you can use an square bracket end. So in between you can add the elements like so using this you can define a list. There are multiple ways of defining a list. This is one type. You can use list class, list method to find this. This is one way. Other way, like, or you can define like a tuple. List basically will take any kind of sequence. So you can give tuple or list also. You can define in this way also. All these three are acceptable. All these three things will convert into list only. So print type. The first one is, last one is list. This one is also list. This is anyway, it is list one. Okay. Now, so list is basically like it has some properties like whatever the way we insert the elements, the order is going to preserve in that one. So order is not going to vary. Like as you saw in the strings, you can call using index number. This banana is in 0th index and this one is in first, second and third index. So you can call like using the index number. Index 0 as banana. Likewise, you can call using the index number. So as I said, this order is preserved. So second thing, you can add duplicates also. List will accept duplicate values. You can add apple again. Nothing is going to happen wrong. It will preserve that one also. If you print, that apple also will be exists. Both apples will be there in the list. You can see 2 times apple is there. Duplicates are allowed. So the next thing is mutable. You can update the list. Like you can replace this banana with other value. You can add some more elements. You can delete the elements. Like string is immutable. Like you cannot update the values, but list you can update the values. You can remove, replace. You can do anything. So one more thing is like it can allow heterogeneous objects also. Like currently, if you see here, all are strings. So you can add any type, like integers you can add, floats you can add, boolean types you can add any type. You can add list also. You can add dictionary. You can add tuple. This may contain something colors maybe. This is a separate list and it is one element in this fruits list. This is not valid, but this is acceptable. Dictionary tuples you can add anything. So, but list will accept all these kind of things. Print and see. So all these different heterogeneous objects are allowed in this list. So okay, we'll remove this one. Now there is one more thing, like as we seen in strings, there is slicing also. Like we want a subset of this list. We should give start index and end index. We say start index is 0. If you simply leave, it will give the complete list. You say end index is 2, will give a subset of that list. See, start with 0 and 1. This index is excluded. It is not included, it is excluded. So 0 and 1, it gave the subset of sublist like banana and apple. Like as we see in the strings, this slicing is also possible in this list also. So if you want to update the values, like if you want to change the values, you can change. Simply call with the next number, we can update the value. Can update banana with fine. Print banana will be replaced with pine. See, the first 0th element is replaced with pine. So if you want to insert some new values in between or at the end, so if you want to insert, like there is one method is there, append will insert at the end of the list. Like you see, you print this one and append, pine is inserted at the end. Since the order is preserved, it will insert at the end. So initially pine is not there, it is inserted at the end if you say append. If we want at the specific index, we can use the insert method. You can specify the index, you can add the element. See, apple was inserted at the index 0, as we mentioned. If we say 1, we'll insert after banana. Like this, we can use the insert method to insert the things. And for example, if you say there are two lists, so fine. Fruits one. What if you want all these elements to be in one list? You can simply do something like concatenation, what we did for strings, like fruits plus 2 will completely form one new list, and it will form this one completely. All these elements were added to one list and it was returned by using this plus operator, or else you can simply do fruits dot extend. Extend will do the same thing. So if you see here the difference, if you add these two things, it will create a new list and it will return that list. If you use extend, it will extend these fruits, the whole list only, it will extend it by adding all this watermelon and pine in this list, and it is going to print that. That is the difference between extend and plus. So likewise, if you want to remove some elements from this thing, you can use remove method. Remove, trying to remove one element. So if you see the pine will be removed from this list. And pine was removed and it was printed. So if you want to remove some index, like for example, say this zero index, there is one more method like pop is there. You give index, it will remove the element from that index. Will remove the banana now. So banana is removed from this list. So if you are not giving anything to this pop method, it will remove the last element. So pine is removed. Now, if you give 2, fig will be removed from the list. 0, 1, 2, fig is removed from this list. So it's basically takes index. If you are not giving any index to this number, this pop method will remove the last element. Likewise, you can remove the elements using index number also, like fruits 0 to say del will delete the element which is present in this index. Will do the same thing. The banana is removed, like index 0, banana is there, that was removed from this list using delete. So there is one more method which we can use to clear all the elements from the list. It's not clear. Okay, clear and delete all the elements. See, nothing is there in this list. Everything is cleared. These are the string list methods which we can use frequently. So apart from this, how do we can iterate one by one, like all the elements in the list? Can use for loop to print all the elements. Simply use this loop to print all the elements in this list. If you want to sort the elements in the list, simply use sort method. Actually, not this one. Now you can see the list will be sorted. It's basically based on the capitalization is there here, so it is not sorting properly. So if you remove that capitalization, then it will sort normally. Since it was assumed this capital letter is to come first, so it is sorting like that. Now it's sorted properly like Apple, B, C, F1 by M, W.